So basically, what this is a little bit about how I got into self awareness, a little bit about myself, and there will also be an opportunity to ask questions after as well. And you can also ask questions in the chat box as well. That is an option, and you can talk in the chat if you want, but it's just going to be basically, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes, maybe about a little bit about my story, and then we can kind of do like an overview on it, as well as I will be doing this every single week at least, just to kind of talk about different types of subjects and what I've learned from them. So today we're going to talk about self-awareness and how I have learned to become so self-aware and kind of like how I got into that. And so, yeah. So when I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with epilepsy disorder, and I used to have really, really, really bad seizures to the point where it almost killed me. And I wasn't even supposed to be alive. I was either supposed to end up dead or I was going to end up not being able to talk, walk, or do anything. Luckily, it was a miracle. Thank God. And unfortunately, that really affected my experience in school, like elementary school. I was in a like I had to wear a helmet for a lot of the time. I had no friends, not really. I really struggled in school. And people used to make fun of me for my disability and my seizures and all that. And I mean, you know how kids can be. And it got to the point where I actually in grade 11 or 12, no, it was grade 11, I actually ended up getting beat up and from a girl that, just she used to pick on me a lot. And unfortunately, what had happened with my brain injury is because of all the seizures, it actually caused a little tiny bit of brain damage on my like part of my brain. I don't have it anymore, thank God, because I was on medication for a while. I haven't had a seizure in over 10 years, so that's good. But because of the learning disability and the seizures, it's taken me longer to understand things and be able to comprehend things. So I got bullied for a long time. And after high school, I actually ended up becoming friends with just a bunch of people that I thought were my friends, but they weren't. And they ended up taking advantage of me a lot. I ended up getting into smoking weed and drinking and just getting into the wrong crowd. And I found out a lot of stuff after that. There were people would make fun of my makeup, people would make fun of the way I dressed, the way I would talk, the way my hair was. And it took me probably 24 years. So I would say the last 2 years have really been where I've really focused on my self-awareness and like just putting myself first and having boundaries. But I'll get into that. But I literally like it took me forever to finally realize like, okay, you know what? I'm a people pleaser. I want to make people happy. Like, and I was a people pleaser for so long, and I wanted to be popular and I cared so much about what other people thought of me. And it ruined me mentally to the point where I actually ended up becoming super, super close with one girl that I was friends with for 4 years. We respect each other now. Like there's no like I'm over it, she's over it, but just we were too codependent on each other. We relied on each other so much, and that's why I won't let myself get overly close to people like to that point, because I actually think it's important that you can be close with someone and still have your own life. But people just went from bullying me to taking advantage of me and pretending to be my friend. And I got myself involved with just a bunch of stuff. Like I used to drink every single weekend back in 2017. I love the people that I hung out with. Like I've had some great memories with them, but it just got to the point where like my mental health was going downhill, and everyone around me, all my family and some of my friends, my true friends, were telling me like, these people are taking advantage of you. And I didn't get it because I wanted to believe the good in everybody. And then it took me moving to Alberta to finally kind of learn that. And after I ended that friendship, I moved to Alberta with my previous boyfriend, the guy before Jacob, and that was good for a while. But then I ended up living with some roommates that were stealing from me and bringing random strangers home, and they were just treating me like shit again, and I let these people in my house. And that's the thing, I was too trusting. And I had to kind of really, for a while, I noticed that I kept blaming all these people around me for treating me like shit. And I had, and I'm not saying that like they didn't, they did treat me like shit, but I also had to be responsible for letting them treat me like shit. And that's really where my self-awareness came in, is, am I going to sit here and resent these people and spend my time blaming these people, or am I just going to, or should I actually cut my ties and start being more responsible for how I'm treated? And I think it's a struggle, because when you're young and you have friends, you, all you care about is being liked, all you care about is fitting in, all you care about is, oh, maybe I should drink because I want to fit in with these people. Like when we're teenagers, it's like being popular is like the biggest deal to us, and having all these people like us, it's like the biggest deal. But then when you get older, you really start to kind of realize, well, do I really want to associate myself with these kind of people? And and you know what, at the end of the day, like everybody struggles, nobody's perfect, and we live in a world full of multiple different personalities, and you're not going to click with everybody. And that's something I've learned, is that you don't really need to be liked by everyone. You could be the nicest person in the world and not everyone is going to like you. And I think that it's important going forward with your life that if you want to grow and you want to see results and you want to, you know, maybe change your story or change your life, you really do have to be self-aware, and self-awareness is the first step. And yes, I went through a lot of ups and downs. Yes, I went through a lot of traumatic relationships and friendships, but I also learned a lot from them. And although, yes, if I could make some changes in my past, I would. I also don't think that I would have the tools that I have now to be able to teach people how to have those boundaries. And as soon as I stopped blaming the world and stopped blaming everyone around me, everything started to change for me. Yes, I lost a lot of people. I will be honest about that. Self-awareness and growth is one of the most uncomfortable things anybody will ever do. And it will be painful, and you will probably lose people. But I know for me from personal experience that ever since I've cut my ties with so many people, ever since I've really valued my mental health and I've put myself first, I've been able to actually have no drama in my life now. I have no drama in my life. I don't have a lot of people in my life anymore. Yes, it can be lonely sometimes, but I also have high quality friendships now. I have high quality people in my life that truly respect me and that I respect. And I even reconnected with a really great old friend of mine recently too. And that, you know, we both had changed over the last few years. And basically what I want, my goal is to make an impact with my story, and for people to realize that you deserve to be loved and respected. You deserve to take care of yourself. And you cannot fulfill somebody else's life if your cup is empty because you're people pleasing everyone else around you. And that goes for anything in your relationship, in your friendship, in your relationships with your family, even, right? Like, it's so important to have boundaries. Boundaries are what keep your relationship healthy. And a lot of people don't realize that. And unfortunately, when you have friends that aren't willing to respect your boundaries, it's because they're not healthy right now. They're not at that place as you are. They're not ready to grow. They're still stuck in their bubble and in their thoughts and their mindset, their values. They're still stuck, right? So instead of taking it as a personal thing, realize that they're just not there yet. And that's what I really had to do. Is, yes, I had a lot of pain losing the friends that I had. Yes, I had a lot of anger at the beginning, and I resented them, and I was really like, it really took a toll on me, and I had to go to counseling to heal from those friendships. But now when I look back at it, now I'm able to genuinely wish these people compassion and wish these people like the best for them and not have anything to do with them. And that took a lot of healing, that took a lot of counseling, that took a lot of like self-reflection. And if you want to grow in your life, the first step is acknowledging what you do with your life. How do you treat people? How do you let people treat you? Because you can't control what people think of you. You can't control what people do, but you can control how you react. You can control how you show up. And if you keep letting these people in your life that treat you like shit, you're just going to end up continuing to get treated like shit. And it's a hard lesson for people to learn, because I've met so many people that have had friends for like that are since they were in kindergarten. And when you hang out, and it's hard, but if you're going to continue to associate yourself with people that drag you down, your life will never change. And that is the hardest truth that's one of the hardest truths in life, is that at the end of the day, you can be a nice person, but you are not in control of other people's behaviors. And if you're around people that drag you down and influence you, and you choose to just avoid conflict over choosing yourself, you're never going to grow. You're never going to have healthier friendships. You're never going to have healthier people in your life. So really, that's what self-awareness comes down to. Is self-awareness really is the first step to growth. And if you don't take that step, you will not see changes. You won't see any improvements. And it's hard. And a lot of people don't learn it until they're older. And like, there's people that are older than me that still are surrounding themselves with people that are dragging them down. And that was like one of the hardest things. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, my journey has been easy. Oh no, it hasn't been. There is so much untold stories in my life that have led me to breakdowns, that have led me to the hospital, that have led me to counseling, that has led me to losing my mind, like literally losing my mind and punching shit. Like I used to punch walls. That's embarrassing, but I used to be very self-destructive because I was such a people pleaser. I had so much resentment to all these people that bullied me and picked on me, that I just sat there and had this built up anger. And all I wanted to do was have revenge. I just wanted them to learn what it felt like to be taken advantage of. And that's after it got so bad that I had to move. I had to get out of that environment. I had to do something. I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't live in this environment anymore. Like it tore me apart. And when you are a people pleaser and you do have that anger towards those people and you do have the resentment, it makes you into someone you don't want to be. I became a monster because I had so much anger inside me towards these people. I was like, why? Like I do all these things for other people. I go out of my way to be there for them. And I let them treat me like garbage. And it took a lot for me to have to end those friendships, but I'm so glad I did. Like I spent months bawling my eyes out, grieving the loss of these friendships, because I was really close with these people. But I also, when I the person I am now to then, it's like I don't have anger issues anymore. Yeah, I have my days where I'm moody, like everyone does. Like I have days where I just need to lay in bed and not do anything. Like we're all human, we all have bad days, but I don't like go and punch shit. I don't have anger towards people anymore because I don't hide how I feel anymore. I'm honest with the people I have in my life. I have boundaries with people I have in my life now. So there's no reason to have that resentment for me. There's no reason to be angry at these people because I have boundaries with the people that I have in my life. And so I may not be perfect, but I'm not at the point that I was before I moved to Alberta. I'm obviously back on the island now, but like leaving to Alberta was something I really did on my own. And it was one of the hardest decisions I did, but it was also one of the best decisions I did. And so I just want to really recommend that when you are building relationships with people, make sure that you are very aware of what you want from that friendship or that relationship. What do you value in life? And I really think that even when it comes to dating, a lot of people just jump into things without really thinking about what do you care about? What are your values? What are your beliefs? What are things that you really truly want in your life? And that's the thing, like if you don't get to know yourself and you don't know what you want and you're not aware of yourself, you are not going to be able to attract the people that you want in your life. You're just going to be so desperate to have people in your life that you're not really going to be, you're just going to be like, oh, okay, I want people, I want to socialize, but you're not really attracting those people that you want. So before you get into a relationship or just in general, like have friendships, make sure you really know yourself. Make sure you know your triggers. Make sure you know things you don't like. Make sure you know things that you do like. And really, really, truly, like, even just practicing spending like 1 day a week to yourself to like write in a journal, think about things that you really, really want and really, really value. And once you can really become more self aware and get to know yourself, then it will be easier for you to start cutting out those people that don't bring value to your life and start attracting the people that do. And so that's my encouragement for you guys today, is to really look at yourself and ask yourself, what do I want? I would even write this down like on a piece of paper. What do I want out of life? What do I want in a friendship? What do I want to do as a career? Like, just ask yourself these questions. Spend some time to yourself, even once a week. Spend like even an hour a day if you can. Just listening to some nice music, getting to know yourself, because once you get to know yourself, that's when the growth starts to happen. And that's kind of what I'm going to be going over with my future clients. Is we're going to go over a self-awareness plan together, so you can do that for yourself, so you can kind of know what the steps are after you get to know yourself. Because the first step in the programs that I offer in my life coaching is that self-awareness, because I don't think it's not possible for us to move forward unless we kind of do that self-awareness evaluation together, because then we know what you want, we know what you value, we know how to move forward, right? So that's all I really have for you guys on the self-awareness. But if you have any questions, you can type it or you can ask over the call. And if you don't have any questions, that's totally fine. I am recording it, so I will send it to the people that weren't able to attend. As well as next Monday, I'm doing a seminar like this, but it's going to talk about mindset and values. So we're going to dive deeper into that. And I'm also going to dive into a little bit of personal stuff as well, like I did today, about what I have learned about mindset. So I will send you the link. It is on my Coach with Jenna page, so it's also there. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. If not, I'm going to end it right here. I know it was a little shorter than I expected, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If not, well, I'll see you guys next week. That would depend on your relationship with your family. Um, it really depends on how you were raised. I think that like everybody has a different relationship with their parents. I know for me, I have to have boundaries with my family. But that's also because it helps our relationship. So it really depends. You can actually, if you want, you can message me on Facebook about that. And that's something that we can go over privately if you feel comfortable, if you want. And if you want to just kind of let me know about your relationship with your family, I can definitely answer that more. I just don't know how to answer that right now because I don't know your relationship with your family.